Hello and welcome to Show and Tell, the show that celebrates digging through other people's trash. Hello, Trash Dragons. I am Chris, Trash Dragon of the West. This is my guitar, Mr. Blankenship. Was that for me or Mr. Blankenship, the Arsenio Wolf?
Just take your pick.
He just reminded me that I sell on eBay and Discogs, mostly media.
And I'm Katie, and I'm Trash Dragon of the South, and I sell mostly clothing and accessories, and I shop for anything super unique and sparkly.
And I'm Joe, Trash Dragon of the East, and I buy whatever I dang well feel like. And today I'm here to my first order of business. Oh, who's that? Who's that?
Oh, and this is you.
I was just going to say, hey, Joe, you're coming off very aggressive. Maybe you should lighten up. And then you're like, who's that?
This
Hello.
is not.
He needs a cat to calm down.
Ulysses, how are you?
Oh, I'm a cat.
Well, anyway, my first order of business is to say I would just like to pay homage to this shirt I'm wearing. It is I got this at a thrift store in Springfield, Illinois, back when I worked at the Illinois State Fair in the 90s. Probably, I'm going to place this about 97, 98, something like that. So about half a lifetime ago. It no longer has the best. It's a very snug fit. It doesn't look great. So
Looks great, Joe.
thank you. But at the end of this episode, I'm going to bid this shirt adieu and it could go off into the wilderness.
Those shirts are very popular down here. You can make some good money, especially snap front. What's the label? Is it HRC?
It's here, if you can see it. I looked at it recently, but I can't remember.
I can't read it.
Send it to me later.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have an update. We have a next scavenger hunt topic, which is September. It'll be Beat the Heat. I'll put the info.
No, Beat the Heat was the last one. It's back to school.
Back to school.
Sorry, now it's Beat the Heat again.
Heat too.
So it is going to be back to school. I'll put the info in the details. And we found a prize for the end of the year, whichever one of us or guests win the most times. So I think it's Joe 2, me 2, and Katie 1, and then a couple of guests.
Dave Reynolds won.
Dave Reynolds won, and I think Horse School won one too with his VCR. So it's real metal. It has an octopus or squid tentacle.
Bonus squid.
Yeah, bonus that you can add on your finger.
Real good.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and I feel like what we should do is just I send that to one of you guys, you have to add another item to the bowl. So it's just going to keep on getting full of more and more.
Can it only be finger puppets? I will put that cat paw in it.
Ooh. I'll take that. I don't have enough finger puppets to be able to agree to that, but
you have time though. You have time to find one.
You have time to lose.
Wow.
You have time to not assume that you will be getting the trophy.
Also, this is for this year at least. This will be the finger puppet or the item. So
you're okay.
Like I said, yeah. Again, topic back to school item in the all the details in the in show notes. But let's move on to our item of joy. That brought you joy. Item of joy this week, and Katie is tired of going first. So Joe, why don't you go first?
Oh well, me?
Yes, you have been blessed.
All right. So I know I had a couple weeks ago I had a lamp, but this also brought me joy, and I'll explain why. It's a desk lamp with a dimmer switch on it. It was given to me. I was giving somebody some decor books, and they gave me this in exchange, and it's great. But it was like when I turned it on, it had a bulb in it, and when I turned it on, it was strobing when you went dim. And I was like, oh crap, that means there's probably like something, there's a weird, electronic component that I'm going to have to mess with. And I'm not, I want to be more of an electronics guy, but it still makes me uncomfortable. Anyway, but I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe it's just not a dimmable, maybe just put a non-dimmable LED in there. And sure enough, when I put a dimmable LED in there, it worked perfectly. So
Yay!
this is my item of joy.
Softer problem solver. That's awesome.
Here it is. Up, down.
That's a pretty good one.
Like happy, ashamed.
Oh no.
Katie, why don't you go next?
I'm stealing your thunder. I have a book.
Wow, curiosities.
What is
Wow.
it?
This is an art book by Travis Louis, who I was obsessed with from a picture. There's this huge print of one of his pictures called Julia and her swamp friend in a hotel in Las Vegas, or not in a hotel, in a restaurant in the downtown area where they do like the laser light show and stuff, not in the strip part of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Anyways, it's amazing. And I just love Travis Louis. I think he's really cool.
Wow.
He does all of these like kind of spooky, but then also very silly.
It almost feels like fine art Maurice Sendak. Do you know who that is?
I don't know. I'll look him up.
He's Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just am I very much like him. And so I was really excited because, and I also saw him work, and this is all done in pencil, which I love. So it's all just very, very detailed. And I was I would say maybe 6 months after I saw that for the first time and then tried to figure out if I could afford the print, which I could not. I found this book at a Goodwill in Burbank. And so it was just a really cool find because sometimes the art books are really pricey. So it was this one was 30.
Is he British by any chance? It feels like this feels very English, UK.
I'm actually not sure. But anyways, he's my guy.
That is a good one. I love that those are really cool. And it has almost like a Edward Gorey kind of weird family portrait-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I like Mark Ryden a lot too. So there's all sort of goes together.
At one time, my friend Janet was just like, "Hey, Mark Ryden just dropped off a bunch of stuff at a Goodwill in Eagle Rock." And,
come on!
And so, we went for at least we went for that day, and we're trying to find Mark Ryden stuff, but nothing. We couldn't find. We couldn't figure out. We were just like, we don't even know what he dropped off. He just wrote on Instagram. He's like, "Yep, just dropped off a bunch of stuff at Instagram, Goodwill." I'm like,
I have a few Mark Ryden things. I'll show them eventually.
Yeah,
I have them for safekeeping.
So this is an item of joy. It's a old, I think this is from originally a 1950s Boy Scout handbook. But there's more. This is 1960s. It's 6th edition, second printing. This is how big back pockets used to be in the 60s. I don't know. But
seriously, I mean,
Boy Scout stuff can sell, but here's the reason that it made me happy is I think it was a prop in the movie The Fabelmans because this was in there. It says, "This belongs to Fabelman Art Department."
Oh, wow,
holy moly. That's amazing.
Because I looked it up, and Spielberg was a Boy Scout. And so I haven't seen the movie The Fabelmans, but I assume that was probably in his room, what have you. And it feels like the right time because, this is a 1960 print. And
that's amazing. Fabelman's great movie. Really loved it.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's really good. Also, just want to point out that the cover of that is also here. I'll show you this. This is sorry, it's on my phone, but I'll send a picture.
Is it Norman Rockwell?
It is the same. It's the same cover image, I believe, altered because you can see he's got a claw. He's got he's got lobster claws, a monster claw. He's ripping through his suit. and that's the cover of an Oingo Boingo record. The Oingo Boingo record, Only a Lad. So
I can't see
anyway.
a lobster claw.
Yeah, I can't either.
I can only see the.
Wait,
That's awesome. It is Norman Rockwell, if you're asking.
Oh, that's really cool. Do you have that listed?
Yeah. I think I have it for like $50 or something like that.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
That ends our item of joy, and we move on to Unearthed Treasure. Unearthed Treasure. Unearthed Treasure. The topic is sweat because it's August and it's hot and sweaty, even in LA. Sweat. Katie, would you like to go?
Sure. I'm supremely frustrated. As you both know, I cannot find my best. So one thing that I look for are vintage kids sweatshirts. It's something that I just love. It's something about them. They're amazing, and they always have really good ones. Like if you can find Zelda, old, like sort of,
Legend of
things, Transformers, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that I'm having trouble finding is I actually have an 80s Hulkmania kids sweatshirt.
Whoa.
It's about this big, and it's him coming through the sweatshirt, and it's red with gold stars all over it. It's unbelievable. And apparently I just was trying to look for the exact one. So the vintage kid sweatshirts go for a pretty penny, but it's not for that. It's for my friend's kid because it's amazing. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
going to show the other one that I love that I don't think have I shown my crossword sweater?
No.
Okay. So this is another one.
Wow.
That is awesome.
And it is all over.
That is a lot of sweater.
It's a kid's.
Sweatshirt. Yeah.
So this is a kid's. It's Scarab. It's very tiny. I wear it with something underneath because it's cropped, but I insist on it because I love it so much. It's got the puffy silk screen on it, so it's a little bit raised all over. But this thing is, I won't ever sell this because it was such a good find, and this was a bins find.
Like you would have to find the most precocious child to watch that, to wear that.
Yeah, that's why I wear it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's for a big kid. It's a little tight in the armpits, or a lot tight in the armpit. I just insist on it. I love it so much.
I must insist.
It is not a good sweatshirt though. If I wear it out, I tend to only wear it sort of online stuff because number one, tight in the armpits. Number two, when you wear it out, people want to talk to you. They want to talk about it.
Right.
So if you don't like to talk to people, this is not the one. Don't do this one. Don't do it.
Anyway, Joseph, why don't you go?
Okay, so this is what I have for sweat. Oh, the booze explosion. My sweat thing basically is like I concentrated on pre-sweat because I used to be uncool. I wasn't into hydration. I was like, I'm too good for hydration. But then I was at an auction, and one of the things they had was just a bin that had like 5 or 6 different clean canteens in it. Some were insulated, some were not insulated, and so this is one of the clean canteens I got. It's hard to tell for size, but it's about the size of my head. It's gigantic. And I've adorned it with, it's got the Clean Canteen logo. And then I put a sticker that my friend Dave Sherrill, designed on it. So it's got a little, little.
Is that a bootleg Mickey? What do you have on there?
It's sort of like a bootleg Mickey. It's more like it's sort of like a crazy it's a crazy Mickey.
It
looks like Mickey Rat from the alternative comic books. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Ricky is Mickey but a rat.
Yes.
Hold on. Am I supposed to know about? I'm still cool, so I don't believe in hydration still. So what are those clean canteens like? Are they special?
They're not really special, but they're just like they're just stainless steel, so it's better than like it's like, for if you don't want to have, what's that?
Better than plastic.
Yes. Like, if you don't want to have like plastic, like if you're concerned about microplastics, which I kind of am, but also kind of am not, and blah blah blah. I like them. And I'd say they're indestructible, but I did have one that cracked. It had a hairline crack in it, and I my sister works in metal fabrication and architectural metal restoration. So I was like, "Do you know anybody that could do something with this?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's a guy that one of the welders is going to work on milk tanks, and so he wants to, get some practice." So I gave it to her, and it came back with a great like little welded bead where the crack was, and it was so cool. And then I left it in my therapist's bathroom and lost it. So
That's
that
not right.
And your therapist was just like, I don't know where it went.
He's
And
like-
while he's drinking out of it,
Right,
no, I haven't seen
exactly.
it. Yeah.
just to see how much you stand up for yourself. So I will go for sweat, and I had no idea. I'm like, I have to think of something because I was up editing the previous show till 11:30 last night, and I was just like, something sweat, good. And so, but I luckily thought of this, which is my sealed Jane Fonda record.
Wow.
That's great.
It's got the hype sticker and everything, which includes from the #1 selling book. It's a specially priced 2-record set. I think it is from the 80s. And so this is a 1981 sealed. And Jane Fonda, like her workouts have gotten really hot again recently. I feel like people have been like watching them on YouTube now and doing them. I think, I think even I've talked to Rami a little bit about it, and I think it's kind of like it got fashionable again. So someone
I'm not surprised. It's probably a decent workout. My tennis coach used to tell me to do Richard Simmons, Sweatin' to Disco or Sweatin' to the Oldies, because the tapes are very long. Like this is probably longer than you think. Like now workouts are like 20 minutes or whatever, but Richard Simmons is like an hour and 20 minutes,
Right.
that whole dance thing. And he used to want me to do it to stamina.
Yeah.
Like you're constantly moving for that long of time. And so I would not be surprised if Jane Fonda is actually a pretty hard workout.
When the vibe is right and you're dancing, it's just like, this is fun.
You're dancing?
Yes, all right, don't need to show off your cool moves, Ulysses.
Ulysses, good dancing, buddy.
Damn, that's a lot.
Damn, dude, your moves are tight.
She does.
As Joe told me the first week we lived together, cats are like kids who can't call the police. But let's move on to our next segment, which is
Tales from the Flipped.
Tales from the Flipped. Tales from the Flipped. The topic is, what's the first place you head to when you enter a thrift store?
Where are you, Chris?
Yeah, I was going to go. That was my plan all along. So I usually head towards the CD rack. It's the thing I feel like part of it is just like I'm most comfortable looking at it. It's the thing I know the most about, just because I grew up in the era of CDs and kind of have a sense of what is common and what's rare. And it's also, they're fairly easy to like check in on. It's like CDs, DVDs, books, shirts, and then ephemera. But yeah, that's kind of like how I go, unless something grabs my attention up top. But that's where I'm like walking to. There's also like, yeah, you have to go to the back of the store for out of the closet. But yeah, that's my first thing. Joe, why don't you go?
I mean, it's changed over the years. It started out I would go to records first, and then lately I've been going. I was like, I was going to T-shirts first, but T-shirts are usually pretty picked over at this point, and it's just like it's hard to. I should go back to T-shirts because it's just like there's still good stuff to be found. But the thing that I lately that's sort of torn between two categories. One is DVDs, and one is DVDs or housewares is where I go to, because I like DVDs. It's the same thing. You can sort of scan. There's specific things I'm looking for in general or on a regular basis, and also it's broad enough that I can usually find something that I want. And people just don't really, there's so many DVDs out there right now because nobody, people have eschewed physical media and dumped all their DVDs, and so you can find good stuff, both for personal and reselling for like $1 usually, and it's pretty great.
Katie, we got a creeper behind you.
No, din 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 din.
He's creeping.
Look at that.
Look at that creepy kid.
Okay.
So Katie, go ahead.
So she's determined to be in it today. She's really determined. She's like, it's my time.
Yeah, Francis isn't. Oh, never mind.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
He's been fussing, so I'm bringing him into my lap.
Sorry,
he's a fuss. Hi, Francis.
Francis is too much.
Yeah,
Angel.
Look at me. I'm on a helicopter.
You the goodest of boys. He's just the goodest. He's just the goodest.
I just imagine him being Inspector Gadget and the helicopter coming.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
too much.
Okay, so thrift store, I would say if it's a new thrift store is probably the easiest way. Like if I haven't been to the one before, first place I go is shoes because I do clothes. So I know by what labels are there, like what kind of stuff people have dropped off, right? After doing this for a long time, I know if I see, like, let's say a lot of Merona or things like that, I'm going to know it's mostly going to be like Target-y type stuff. That doesn't mean there can't be really crazy designer or vintage finds in the clothes, but most of the time you're going to see that reflected in the shoes. So you're going to be able, and it's more condensed and easy to see. So then I can scan. So that's the easiest one. And then sometimes I'll do that. If I don't want to go to shoes, I'll do coats that way. So I'll do all the coats, like blazers and actual winter coats. But then sometimes if I'm just shopping and I know the thrift store, I'll go to the area that I know is the most picked first. So just in case it hasn't been picked that day. So that would be men's t-shirts, like what Joe said, every time, because that is a hard one. It does get picked really quickly. And pickers move fast. So they'll just flip. And then you're gone. And then in the wintertime, sometimes I will start with sweaters because I can do by feel for cashmere. So I'll just go along and do that, which is sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes it's really soft acrylic. But if you just do it long enough, you find the stuff. But anyways, that's the tips and tricks for the clothing sellers out there. Choose first to establish what labels are there.
And dominance, to establish dominance.
And dominance. Yeah, you go to the shoes confidently, and then if there's nothing, you just walk out. Just walk out of the store with a brusque.
And if somebody else is there looking at shoes, you have to punch them out first. So they know you're
elbows out when you're at shoes. So you need to be in a stance almost like a scarecrow on a pole. You need to be here like this, and if someone says excuse me, you turn in the same and say, oh, excuse you, excuse you. Just sort of weird and aggressive. You don't want to be actually just aggressive. You want to be a little off so that they're scared, and then you're good. Yeah.
These
make sense.
Yeah, these are just all yes.
Gold.
Yes,
gold is what it is.
It's raining gold upon you.
Thrifting gold.
Yeah. So
you want seahorse boots? You got to do these moves.
So I think we did it. Like, let me. Do you guys think we did it? A+ is 5 stars.
Hang on, my mom's calling. 1 second. What's that, Mom? We did it? 5 stars. Oh my God! My mom just called to say we did a great job.
Thanks, Mom. Tell her to stop tapping my computer. Just a reminder, we've got a scavenger hunt. Look at the info down below. If you win the most, you get this.
Back to school.
Yeah, back to school is the topic. So here's a song that everyone's craving. Thank you for watching Show Itself. If you remember, hit like, share, subscribe, and hit everything's gonna be alright. lives. Thank you for watching. So, if you remember it, ring the bell. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye to the shirt too. Ah! Ah!
You're welcome, ladies, and also occasionally some men. So talk to you later.
Hey, thanks for coming, everybody.